What's up, refiners? Welcome back to the channel. Severance season 2, episode number 2, and what a start to season 2.
Yes,
because that was wild. Head spinning. What is happening? All kinds of things going on. Mark had a whole new team that's like, wait, what? Why? Where's the other team? What happened? And Milchek's now in charge, and he's just obsessing about his welcome screen on his TV because it keeps saying Mrs. Selvig and not his name. And Cobell, not Selvig, yes.
How dare you, first off?
And just the whole vibe felt weird. He was talking about like how they were celebrities, and he showed Mark like this headline and this picture of them like riding on a car like they're the grand marshals of like a parade kind of thing. Wild shit. And obviously Mark was going home, but they made the vibe and the feel of the episode feel like he just was in this constant loop of being stuck at work. And just, it was constantly him being at Lumon over and over and over again.
And
but the clock changed, and there were...
Okay, well, the clock... Fuck the clock.
Changed.
You can always change the clock
That's
manually and make it look like, hey, he fucking left and came back and it's a different hour. Because there's no windows, so you're not going to know what time of day it actually is, just what time of day they tell you
it's like a Las Vegas casino.
Exactly. They're pumping in oxygen. Yeah.
They're definitely masking things, but they clearly wanted to keep that aspect of the story. Like, the show does this like crazy. They will conceal things and want you to just focus on a certain aspect of it, which then creates all kinds of different questions about...
I fall for it every time.
Yeah, because it's done really, really well.
Yeah.
And Mark basically throws a fit. He storms into Milchek's office, finds the little speaker, screams into it, the board, blah, 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 all this stuff, and then his team shows up slowly, and they're like, oh my god, how long has it been? Irv's sitting there banging on the friggin' elevator door looking for Bert. That shit sucked. Yeah. Because you knew these people. You knew these people were going through it, and the fact that like I grasped what was happening with Mark at the beginning, because again, you got to think about their outside versions of themselves were their innies, and when they got flipped back on, it's like, oh, that stops immediately. And then when he gets severed in the elevator, it's immediately back to what he was experiencing when the switch got flipped. Yeah. It could get a little confusing at times. So the reason why he was running around the office looking for things was because he literally found out in that moment that his wife was the wellness coach, Miss Casey. And the last thing he said was like, she's alive. Like, that was such a crazy moment.
That was.
And Irv was banging on Bert's door. So like, that's where he woke up. And I mean, the show continues to make Helly like the center of all the questions. She's felt off.
Yeah.
Something was not right with her. She lied about what she experienced, which obviously in the scenario, being an Egan and being the daughter of the big boss, I would probably hold that information too under the circumstances, but at the same time, they're all being honest with each other. They're all trying to accomplish a certain mission.
I have a question.
She just felt off.
She did. But like when they were on this little parade float, didn't anybody, like, in the media or whatever recognize that she's an Egan and, like, put that in the newspaper? Do the Outies know who she is? Like,
I mean,
if they're seeing news about themselves, like, I need to know that. And, like, we haven't seen their Outies yet.
Right. We haven't experienced this new fame that Milchek was talking about. And, yeah, I think that was the whole point of Helly becoming severed, is that she is an Egan, her dad is the CEO, and her making the decision to do a severed job was the big deal. So I think that's why there was a whole event geared around her and talking about it. And I think her opting for that is a big deal, and I think people knew that. But like, that's another big question mark, is like, they were parading their Outie versions of themselves.
Yeah. Or
did they flip the switch on them while people were at the office and while they were out, and was it their Outie versions of themselves that were being celebrated?
That's also
the question.
A good question, because then their Outie wouldn't even realize.
They'd be like, why am I on this car? Why are these people like celebrating? Like, that would be really bizarre if you had no knowledge or awareness of what was happening.
Right.
So it's very possible they just had the switches flipped.
Yeah, interesting.
Because now that we know that they can do that, who the hell knows when it's happened before or how often it's happened in the past. It's just some wild shit. And I mean, there's also a 12-year-old working in the office now, which
also weird.
Why are you 12?
Why are you severed?
Yeah. What is going on there? And
are you severed?
Yeah, I don't know.
Or are you just... Where are the child labor laws, Lumon? What the hell?
Yeah, I'm excited to see if we're going to get anything in this episode of their outies experiencing this new fame that Milchek talked about.
I would love to know.
How are they going to proceed? Because the plan of the office is to now find Miss Casey and get her out of there, which it's been a long time since they've all been back at work. Where is she even? Is she still there? I couldn't imagine that she's even there. So what's happened to her? What is her situation and what is her deal? There's a lot of stuff there. And by the way, yes, Keanu Reeves was the voice in that little cartoon that they played. He
legit just showed it to me before we started watching, and I was like, oh my God, I love that. I love that so much.
It totally didn't catch when I was watching the episode.
No, not at all.
And then when I was editing, I was like, that voice does sound really familiar. And then I saw there was a comment that it was Keanu Reeves. I'm like, oh my God, it's totally him. That's hilarious. That's amazing that you can get him.
I love that.
To like voice that like weird ass random cartoon.
So wait, is he in the... Don't tell me. I don't want to know if he's in the series. I'm just gonna theorize. Yeah. So like that would be so awesome if he's in the series.
He's the building, duh.
Well, you get it.
Duh. Yeah. He's the building. So
he is Lumon.
Yeah, that was really funny. I love that you could get someone like that to just voice over something so silly and
But I mean, he seems like a fun guy.
Oh yeah, totally. So here we go, episode 2, season 2. You ready for it?
Yep.
Let's go. As this episode's going through its opening credits, one thought that I had.
David!
Oh.
No. Listen, we're not happy. We're miserable.
Oh, do we get some Outie?
We're prisoners! She's alive!
Oh, now we're getting... I was going to say that it would make sense to protect the company to have Helly be like something.
Mm-hmm.
Mark, so this is you now?
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
What's my name?
Persephone.
Can you spell that?
Never.
Babe. Okay.
Need help with his diaper.
Look how confused he is.
Yeah.
God, that's got to be so weird.
Like, why am I holding a picture?
We actually getting Outie Helly here?
Fetid moppet.
What?
Father.
Was that like a test to see if Helly was Helly?
I'll have someone from the floor liaise with the Outies.
Need to find out who they talk to, promptly.
Interesting. Milchek's just staring like...
I need you to go see all of them. Find out every word they said and who they said it to.
And shall I fire them?
Let Kier guide your hand.
Of course.
That is so weird that Milchek knows both Helly and Helena.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's like the whole wild part of this like situation of the employees not being severed, especially with like Milchek. And
I love this shot though. This is really cool.
Just the idea that she went out of her way to meet outside Mark, knowing inside Mark. Oh.
Please, sit. We've commandeered the footage taken by guests. Natalie is already doing outreach to media, and the Severance employees who were involved are being dealt with. Thank you for acting so quickly. You saved us from disaster.
Will Mr. Egan be joining?
Just me. I personally owe you a debt of gratitude.
It cost me dearly.
It did. And still you proved your loyalty tonight. Which is why we'd like to ask you back.
Interesting.
An apology is warranted.
I apologize. My father apologizes. The board apologizes. We've treated you poorly.
She's very good, and she's very beautiful. That red hair is everything.
I welcome your contrition.
I'm so glad.
There's much damage to control. I recommend we start by scouring the feed, and I need to interview Dylan G. See how he gained access to that.
We have something else in mind. Severance Advisory Council.
I never heard of such a thing.
It's a brand new initiative. You'd be spearheading its formation.
Who's this dude?
He's just the bodyguard, I think.
I should be running the severed floor.
Mr. Milchick has been promoted to floor manager.
Is that gonna piss her off?
Feels that
You
way.
don't value me. You fear me.
We fear no one.
Oh, shit. It is so interesting watching Helly in her Outie form
I know, right?
as, like, the
I'll
boss.
put some thought to it.
Thank you for coming in, Harmony. Mr. Drummond will see you out.
I don't need an escort.
We haven't really even seen Milchick out in his personal life either.
Mm-mm.
So I wonder what that type of situation is.
Earlier this evening, at an event where I was excited to share my status as a severed individual with a group of friends and allies, I made the poor decision to consume alcohol while on a non-Lumon medication for an arm rash. This had an inebriating effect, which caused me to say some deeply regrettable things.
This is how they're gonna spin it?
The Milchick. Apologies for the hour.
Is everything all right?
How's your night been?
Fine. They're showing Barbara of Seville on TV.
And you're feeling well?
Oh, God. What did I eat in there?
We just need to know if anything of note occurred. Anything at all.
Why don't you tell me what's going on, Mr. Milchick?
In the moment, I thought I was being funny, but in the hours since this outburst, I've been reminded just how seriously my family's company affects the lives of real people around the world.
Wow.
You know your innie is a friend of mine. I feel confident he'd approve of me saying so. And he's a man of principle, which is rare, which is what makes this so difficult.
You're firing me?
When Lumon falters, it's our cherished workers and their families who suffer first.
Wow. This is...
You were involved in a physical altercation with another employee this evening, and I regret to say that you were the aggressor.
Wait.
As such, I'm afraid we've no choice but to terminate your employment effective immediately.
Distrust of Lumon has been sadly endemic since its founding. My words provided more fuel for pernicious hate and derision.
You can't just do that. What happened? Did I break something? I can pay. I have cash upstairs.
When I said my innie was being tortured,
What am I supposed to tell my wife?
this was a joke and a lie.
I'm sorry.
I'm committed to this company with every part of me.
The machine at work, covering up the
I'm also
bullshit.
human, just like my innie and just like you.
Wow.
You just see her entire body language just changed when she was done recording that message.
New intro.
It didn't show this in the, premiere of season 2. So trippy. Why are there babies? What is happening?
Oh, ew. Oh.
There's the goats. Oh yeah, we're gonna get an answer about the goats. Why are there goats at Lumon? Oh.
That was Miss Casey and Helly, wasn't it?
What the fuck? That was trippy.
That was a creepy one.
We can reschedule the reading to next month. It's fine.
So what?
So you said she's alive?
If I may, I really did feel it was clear you were referencing the baby. Patton had just saved her.
Well, he found her, right?
And I think that your workie was excited. I have to say, Mark, he really is a jewel.
Guys, obviously I was referencing the baby, okay?
Yes. No, yeah, I agree. I think Rickon is right.
I agree.
So let's Occam's razor this shit. You're looking for Eleanor. You find this picture, which obviously is of interest to you, so you pick it up. And then when Patton found Eleanor...
Saved her, I'd still say.
Okay, whatever, yes, you still had it with you. Yeah, I think it's the only thing that makes sense.
And Eleanor was in the study because...
Because Mrs. Selvig left her in there, or Cobell, whatever the fuck.
Perhaps Cobelvig would be a helpful nomenclature?
And assuming that she's a lie really was about the baby.
And you don't think it was? Why are you saying it like that?
Sorry, I'm just exhausted. It's been a weird fucking night, Mark.
Oh my God.
Let's deal with what we know to be true. Mark's work, he went to great lengths to awaken himself, to alert us to abuses. He was inspired by my book. He found great meaning in it, profundity.
Stop making this about you, bro.
What the fuck are you even saying?
Why are you being a dick to me? I'm trying to help you.
I'm just trying to get...
She clearly thinks that he was talking about his wife, but she just doesn't want to say it.
Mr. Scout, I imagine you have a few questions.
Oh, you could say that.
You must be Devin.
Yeah, Devin knows. Devin knows.
Why would he be screaming about the baby like, it's a lie? Like, it's like
What
awesome he
happens
found
tonight
it,
is what
but
we call the overtime contingency. It's a safeguard we employ if we ever need to access your work personage.
Yeah, you never told me about this.
OTC disclosure can be found in your start paperwork. It seems the tech was commandeered by one of your office mates, allowing him to wake the rest of you for a period of 39 minutes.
I know, I talked to him.
What did he say to you?
If I tell you, are you gonna punish him for it?
We have no punishments at Lumon.
Liar!
We're more concerned about how you're doing. I can only imagine how violated you feel.
Yeah, speaking of violations, just wondering how common it is for your managers to commit fucking lactation fraud against their employees' families. Pretty common?
oh shit.
What we learned tonight is that she is quite severely unwell.
She lives next door to me. I, know her.
And her behavior at Lumon seems to be the source of your innie's distress. She will never descend to that floor again, nor bedevil you out here any further. You've my word.
Wow.
But we do need to know what we're dealing with. Is there anything you can tell me?
No, I mean, we're very tired.
Yes, we are.
We've just said all there is to say.
Choose your next words very carefully, and they are doing a good job with that.
I hope to see you Monday.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
What your innie did tonight was completely unauthorized. It was also very brave. I'd hate to reward his courage with non-existence.
Spin, spin, spin.
So weird. I almost forgot. Yeah, Mark wants to quit.
I like that they didn't reveal too much. I mean, Devin obviously has, the big whammy.
Yeah.
Which she's keeping to herself, which is probably good. Your Outie likes the sound of radar. Oh, radar. This makes me rethink all the speculation we had about Cobell being assigned to watch Outie Mark because they live next to each other and they're only two in the whole housing complex. Did she just overstep?
You think we're about to meet our spouses? Maybe it's each other. That'd be a hoot.
Yeah, maid argument over car wash coupon.
Honey, you're cutting them wrong.
She's gonna see the kiss.
In case we don't come back. I don't know. In case we do.
Has she never watched the footage of her innie before?
I think I feel like that would be pointless. That would defeat the purpose maybe.
In case we don't come back. In case we do.
No pressure. Be cool.
You are so awesome. Smile.
Come on, Dylan.
He's gotta go find work.
I think this is going to be a really great fit for me, Mr. Saliba. Ever since I was a kid, I've always felt like doors...
How old? How old were you when you knew you loved doors?
5.
If you could be any kind of door, what would it be?
Pocket.
Interesting. Tell me more.
Well, you're, doing your door thing. When you're not needed, you can just
tuck yourself away. Can I finish your eggshell?
Semi-gloss.
That's hot. You remind me of me, Dylan. You like kickball?
As a skill, or, do I follow it professionally?
We play on Fridays. There's a fun prize if you win.
You mean a door prize?
A lot of short-term employment, and then Lumon, and they make their doors in-house. It's fucking hubris.
I was a Severed employee, so...
You're a Severed?
Yes. Yeah, I was.
Well, Mr. George, thanks for coming in. We'll consider your application thoroughly.
What does that
mean?
Because I'm severed?
Like I said, we'll consider your application thoroughly.
Oh, we were bonding about pocket doors.
We need a certain kind of person here, Mr. George, not a certain kind of two people. I mean, what do you think this is, a carpet factory?
What?
Personally, I think it's abhorrent.
Damn. You invited me to kickball, though.
I know. I thought we were vibing, man. I'm a pocket door with semi-gloss.
Not so great doors. Fuck y'all being mean to Dylan.
I was just thinking maybe there was a way we could confirm what your any meant. I know we're not supposed to contact him, but Denise is a lawyer, and apparently you can petition.
I'm quitting.
You're quitting?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you called them already?
No, I was gonna do it tonight.
But don't you think that was strange last night? I mean, like, why was he so curious?
You remember I identified her, right?
Yes, Mark.
I saw her body.
Okay.
My thing is, if we could just get like a half step more confirmation, then it's not going to be something that continues to haunt us. Do you know what I mean?
Us.
Yes, she's my family too, Mark.
But she was my wife.
You're not the only one her death affected.
Oh, really? It affected you?
Yes.
Did you have to tell her parents that she was dead? How about her students? Did your sheets smell like her for weeks afterwards?
She's not saying she hurt more than you.
If Rickon died and his body burned, I'd be sad for you, but I wouldn't be affected. This is obscene.
I just want to be sure.
I am sure.
So he just said
so
body
her body
burned.
was burned?
That's a very, I mean, he also said that he ID'd her.
Yeah, that's weird. I need to know what happened.
I'm curious as to how this all, like, how and, again, why did they do this?
Oh, this fucking guy. By the way, the Lord Farquaad haircut is not doing anything for you, sir.
I was thinking about switching my hair to that. No?
Never. I don't know. They didn't really make snow look like so creepy as like, I never want to be at night with the snow around. F that. It really is terrifying. It looks cold and scary. There's no one out because it's so cold. Is that Bert? Watching Irving? Yeah.
Like, what could be going through his mind? I don't think... I mean, they didn't show us if the door ever got opened or if they interacted, because the switch got flipped as he was literally banging on their door. Oh, jeez.
Mr. Milchik?
Compliments of the company. We got off on the wrong foot last night. Okay to talk a minute?
Yeah, come on in.
This level of persistence is giant red flag.
I know you're still weighing whether to return to Lumon.
Yeah.
I'd like to ask you a few questions that may inform your decision. How happy are you with your current financial compensation? I ask because our endearment to you is such that a 20% bump is on the table should you return.
And you're bribing me with a raise.
My second question is whether a full investigation into your Innie's claims and regular wellness checks from independent org would help you feel more excited to return.
Well, I don't know. Is that what they're doing?
It's the first step of many. My third question concerns your late wife, Gemma.
What about her?
In your intake interview, you cited her death as a primary motivator for severing. Do you remember what you said?
No.
You said since she died, every day feels like a year. That you felt like you were choking on her ghost.
Dang.
Do you still feel that way, Mr. Scout?
No, but thanks for bringing it up. Do now.
The Mark I've come to know at Lumon is happy. He cares for people, and he's funny. He knows nothing of the pain I see in you right now. He's found love.
Love? With who?
The solace you have given him down there will make its way to you. It just takes time. I hope you'll give us that time.
Yeah, he's not telling you who you're in love with.
Just dangling that carrot. I mean, it obviously worked because we know he goes back.
I mean, when you say stuff like that, like, how am I not supposed to go back? Like, my other half of myself is living a full life.
Are you satisfied with this?
His sister seems more uppity than he is.
So who are you bringing into MDR?
I've got a floater from overseas and a pair who were laid off from 5X.
5X? Really?
I had 48 hours to pull this together. Hopefully there will be some chemistry.
We don't need chemistry. We need Mark S. back to work long enough to complete Cold Harbor.
What is that?
Cold Harbor. So they've got a big plan.
Okay, well, if you're there, please listen. Now, I know that you want to do the right thing for severed people, which is why I need to see my team again. Mark! They deserve a chance. Mark! They're my friends. You can't just make them disappear.
Is there a board? Is there, though?
Of course, I bear full responsibility.
The board's going to give him what he wants, including Heliar. He won't finish without them.
Finish what?
Mr. Milchick?
Clearly there's no celebration or fame. This is all bullshit.
Oh.
Was that like a doctored headline photo? Because I'm sure we would have experienced that with Mark.
So then it hasn't been 5 months.
I'm now more concerned about this clear plan that they have. And they need Mark in there working because they actually meet quota. And whatever they're working on is very important. Moment of truth. Is she actually severed? Does she go up like a special elevator or
They're
something?
not going to let her innie exist anymore because the innie is going to be telling stuff, right? Her innie's going to be like, yeah, I was at the gala and all this shit. So then it's not. Her innie is dead. Yeah, she doesn't get... No, they turned it off.
At the... Like, as the boss, do they have, like, a easy off switch?
I'm sure. She's no longer severed. She is herself. That is interesting. They're going to hide her innie.
Hey!
Hello, Mark.
Where do you think you're going?
What do you care?
Bitch, you...
What do I care? Who are you?
I thought you were quitting.
I trusted you. I told you what I'd gone through these past 2 years. You were in my house. I ate your shitty fucking cookies.
They convinced you to stay. Was a pineapple involved?
Why are you not answering my questions?
You're so easy to sway.
What? So that's it? You're leaving? You fucking kid. Why did you do this? What the fuck is this all about?
Oh my god. Bitch, are you gonna answer?
World domination.
Do you know something about Gemma?
Ooh, that response is not gonna make him feel good. Fucking psycho, dude. Holy shit.
She knows something, and...
She knows everything.
Well, no, I know, but, like, now he knows that she knows.
Yeah. This shit is crazy.
It's so good, though. It's so good.
It's just the way they... I mean, I still don't think we have official confirmation on Helly not being severed.
That was official confirmation for me.
You think so?
She's not severed.
Yeah.
They're going to hide her innie. Because as soon as her innie pops out, that she's going to be like, I was at a gala. I was in a thing. I'm an Egan. I'm a this. And I said all these things and they didn't give a fuck and they're going to do all this stuff. She's going to blow her fucking gasket if they let her innie out.
That makes sense. And also something I mentioned during the episode, it would make a ton of sense in terms of, especially after that video she recorded, to protect the company as much as you can and try to play it off and lie, which she did. And yeah, I think this is super fascinating. This is just the way, like the fact that she now mentioned that project. We have to wait till this is over.
Cold Harbor.
It's clearly...
Does that mean like she's going to take dead people and sever them and then like give them a new life?
Who knows what that means, but I mean, Cold Harbor sounds, I don't know. But that's clearly the project that they're working on.
So
and
weird.
The idea that they needed to get, because Mark and his team are efficient. They get their job done. they hit quota, and they do things that they're told. So it's like they gave Mark this team, and even the one dude's like, we never met quota ever. And the idea that like Mark's like, give me my team, they deserve this. They brought the team back so that they could do the job that is super important, as they've told us. And clearly it's connected to whatever it is that she's talking about, this big grand plan, which the way Severed is presented publicly, like outside of Lumon, it sounds like a really big thing. It's a political topic. There's people on both sides that are very passionate about this idea. So it kind of sounds like one of those things to where, I mean, even if I recall correctly, and I misrecall things often,
as you know,
the conversation with Helly and her dad before the speech, it made it sound like world takeover and get the chip into everybody was the goal, or is the goal. So whether there's like a way to like Men in Black people with like the zapper and just like boom, people are severed kind of thing, just put them in like satellites and just zap the world.
Please don't do that.
Like that's kind of where my brain goes with this kind of shit. But it's just, it feels like the idea of trying to expand it as far as possible is the goal. And I mean, I think having an actual Egan do the process was their steps to doing that, because it ultimately proves to the public, like, hey, look, I'm the daughter of the boss. I made the decision to go through the procedure. I took on a severed job, and I'm great. I'm happy. This is awesome. But when in reality, they had to do damage control because, you know, they were able to flip the switches, and she said a bunch of stuff. That cover-up was insane.
That was.
I had a couple drinks and mixed with
medication.
Skin medicine.
Yeah.
And I was just trying to be funny, and it wasn't. Like, wow, that's the way you're going to try to cover this shit up? I mean, we talked about it.
Yeah.
We said that they were going to come up with some kind of spin.
They had to.
Yeah. And, I mean, where this is going is so fascinating because there's so many possibilities, and I don't know what the reach of this show is. Like, how far are they willing to go with, like, the craziness? Because this show is already pretty wild.
It is.
The concept is pretty insane. And the idea of, like, limiting how wild it gets, I'm not going to do that, which is why I was like, put a friggin' satellite and zap the world. Like, it feels like a situation to where Helly was always the project to make it public. And now they have to do damage control and protect, and there absolutely was not a parade and a celebration.
No.
We would have seen it by now with their Outies.
Yeah.
So,
and I don't think it was 5 months.
I mean, the time frame, it was probably shorter than that, but it could have been.
Well, I mean, the only
time is such a weird thing in this show.
Yeah, well, I mean, the only thing that like kind of like made me think like there was some time is Dylan looking for a job.
Yeah. I mean, what the hell was Irv doing with his time? Because he's alone. It's him and Radar, and he, like, what was his day-to-day look like? Like, he wasn't doing anything. And, like, I felt bad for that dude. And the fact that even Bert went and found him interesting.
Weird. Yeah, I need to know.
But
I need to know these things.
The concept of time in this show is very weird because of just thinking about how the people who are severed's day goes. It's like you get day and then your night, and it's like you only get morning and night. You don't get anything in the day if you're severed because you're going into work, and they spend the 8 hours there. Like, it's just, time is a funky thing in this show, and I don't know if it's been 5 months. I don't know if it matters that it's been 5 months. I'm just more like, they are full of shit. that is,
we knew that.
That is clear. Because, like, I thought we were going to get an episode, like, when we got the Outie episode, which we ended up getting in this episode, I thought it was going to be like, oh, we're going to see the celebration and, like, rioters and picketers and protesters. And, like, I thought things were going to get, like, hot and heavy and wild.
I know, but they wouldn't have gone back down if they... Or there had to have been some explanation otherwise as to why they would go back down if that was the result.
So they clearly built that headline and picture to sway Mark to something. But I mean, Milchek even used that against Mark at one point. He's like, oh, you've let your Outie success get to your head, or fame, or whatever the word was that he used. So like that whole concept is interesting. And I mean, I know this was a unique situation that they're trying to do damage control, but these people don't sleep. Milchek was literally cruising around town on his bike, just putting out all these fires.
Yep.
Insane. And I mean, I still think the biggest question now is what happened with Gemma? What did they do? Whose body did they frame as like hers for Mark to be like, yep, that's hers? Did they use one of those like likeness? Because like you go back to the perpetuity wing. Did they make a version of her through that?
That's
like,
wild.
I mean, they have the 3D printers in that one room.
That's also
Bert's department. Did they somehow make a copy of her to make it
that
like
seems
that's
like
just
dramatic, but who is she otherwise?
Right. Where is she?
Who is Miss Casey?
And where is she and what is happening to her? Why did they do that? There's just so many questions connected to that whole story. And I love that Devin is she's pushing it.
Yeah.
She knows because, again, in the context of the situation, Mark wouldn't be hysterically screaming with a picture of his wife in his hands, she's alive, about the baby that was gone for 5 minutes. I don't think there was a lot of worry about the baby not being alive. I mean, there was a panic because it's like, oh shit, a stranger took my kid. But you ended up finding the baby perfectly fine, and Mark comes running out of the room with a picture of his wife. His wedding photo screaming, she's alive. She's like the only one who put it together, it seems like. Unless Rickon is just too dumb or naive to even try to think that way, because he literally made everything about him.
Well,
she literally said, I agree with Rickon, and he's like, I agree.
He has no self-awareness.
No. Like, who does that?
I don't know.
Like, Nikki is so brilliant, and then you'd be like, well, I agree with that. Like, what?
I do agree with that.
But it's just, it's funny.
I'm hilarious.
Obviously, we know, Rickon, that you agree with the statement that you made. Like, we get it, bro. We get it.
Oh my God.
So, I don't know what's up with this guy, but I like that Devin's pushing, but I'm also kind of nervous because they're spying on her and they're kind of listening to the conversations.
Yeah, it's weird.
And,
following them.
Yeah, and I just hope that her safety isn't in jeopardy because of her. She's going to keep pushing this idea.
Yeah.
And the idea that Gemma's loss impacted her too, like, obviously, like, yeah. So this second episode, wild. I think it presented, like, through these 2 episodes, it's presented a lot. A lot to think about, a lot of question marks. What is this big project? I mean, Helly, they're going to be able to figure it out, right? Are they going to be like, what's wrong with you? You're not acting like your normal self?
I don't know. I don't know.
Because watching them, like, getting the whole first season with Helly as severed Innie and getting this one episode of her Outie, they are completely different people. Like, it's not even close. They are very different. Their demeanor, the way they talk, it's all very different. So I'm wondering if they're going to be able to notice, be like, you feeling okay? Like, something's off? Like,
something's very off.
Yeah, so I think that's going to be one of the big interesting moments from this upcoming season. And, of course, the whole Gemma stuff is...
This show is so good. I love
like,
it
how
so
far
much.
they're willing to go to get somebody to join their company as a severed employee. Like, we're going to fake your wife's death. That's wild. Like, fuck, dude. So, anything else?
No.
All right, y'all. You guys leave all your comments down below. We'll see you later. Have a good one. Bye.